Hi there, Monique Casey here. I help people go from conflict to collaboration, even with the people who drive you a little crazy. So I was walking along the street just behind my house. I can actually see the neighbor's house from my house, sort of kitty corner. And I noticed that there were cop cars the other night. And then the next day, there were 2 cop cars. And the next day, there were 3 cop cars. And I started to wonder, does this guy, is somebody there a police officer? No, that's not what was happening. COVID-19 is a terrible, terrible thing. But what's also terrible and invisible to many of us is domestic violence. And when the 3 cars were there, we saw something we never see in Montreal. Like, we just don't have guns here. And they came out with a bunch of hunting rifles. One of the neighbors had heard them fighting really hard and had called them the first night. And this afternoon, I went for a walk with the dog, and there was another police officer sitting in a car in front of the house. So it just really broke my heart. And I am a former crisis interventionist, and I worked in 2 different women's shelters. And I remember the first one I worked at was at an army, right next to an army camp. And when the guys would go out on their schemes, when they were out in like on their trainings, the place was empty. We had nothing to do. And then they'd come back and the shelter would fill up, and all the shelters in the surrounding area would fill up. It was a serious, serious problem where I was living. And it just reminded me of that, and how, you know, I got involved in that shelter because I took someone there once. And that's when I became first a volunteer, and then they hired me on as a regular staff. It's just so surreal when it's happening in your life. And we always think, oh, you know, I would never let that happen to me, but it's much more than that. And right now, there are a lot of women and children who are in more danger at home because the violent person is also home. I just wanted to be able to share like a couple of websites. Like I have one for Canada, which is like all the different crisis intervention for domestic violence for Canada, and another one for the US. And I wanted to share that, but I wanted you to know that when you're walking by a quiet house, you don't know what's going on behind that door. And if you think that you know someone who might be in trouble, check in with them a lot. Just tell them you're very concerned about COVID-19. Just check in with them a lot. And if there's something going on, or you think something's going on, contact a resource and ask them what you should do. And they'll tell you what they can do, but they'll give you some guidance. If you yourself just want to talk to someone about this, you're scared for yourself or someone you love, feel free to reach out to me. No charge, like just a conversation, and let's see if I can help you brainstorm something. I mean, this doesn't replace therapy or anything, but if you need to talk to someone who's maybe worked in that field, feel free to reach out. This is a very difficult time. Everybody's hurting in one way or another. There are extra stressors, and some people are not handling it well or responsibly. So that's it. That's my message for today. I just wanted to hop on and share that with you. If you have any questions or any comments, please share them. Let's make this message get around a little bit. I'd like to help as many people as I can. Take care of yourself and stay safe. Take care now. Bye.